Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric, if you don't know it, and this channel is all about keeping it real. So if you're looking for good, honest answers, you come to the right place. Today, folks, we're going to be doing generators. I get that asked a lot about what do I need for a generator to either run my house or run my camper, or we're going to go into all of them today. And stay tuned. So welcome back. Today we're going to be talking generators in general. You know, I get asked a lot of questions, the same questions about, what do I need to, run my house? Mainly what I hear are from folks that, just like recently, we lost power, right? And they're not sure of what size generator to get so that they can run their home while the power's out. And the biggest thing I have to take into consideration when I'm talking to them is, do you have a hot water heater? Do you have a furnace? What appliances are running in the house that you plan on using? A water pump? My theory is whatever you need for wattage, make it bigger. Alright? See, now look up to my house. The porta cable that I did a video on, it had sat for 3 years out here. And I tore it down, got it cleaned up. You guys watched the video, some of you did. And that's a 6,500 watt generator. And that ran everything fine at the house because my hot water heater is propane fire. And my furnace is propane fire. Now, my water pump is 220, because it's a submergible in the well. What are we going to be running inside? Are we going to be running the washer and dryer? Do you want it that big, or can you go without that in the meantime? You're going to have enough to run lights, run your TV, maybe your satellite dish. All these things have to be factored in when you're trying to decide what generator to get. Now, this is basically like we have this Craftsman generator right here. It's an 8,000. Now that 8,000 would run most homes with no problems. So if you got the money, I always say go bigger. See, now, as I said, that 6,500 watt porta cable, my in-laws bought that the first year we bought our house. And that was 23 years ago. That's still running strong, running good. We actually ran the shop on that unit the whole time when the power was out. But here 3 years ago I decided I wanted to update and I wanted to put in a newer generator at the house and move that generator, the porta cable, down here so the shop would have power instead of running it off from a 3,500 watt generator that used to run the shop. And when I say used to run the shop, basically just electrical, water pump, wood stove, that's it. No big compressors cranking up, no hot water heaters, no nothing like that. And definitely not any welding. Wouldn't handle it. We're moving the 6,500 down. That will run the air compressor, everything that's in the shop, but we're not welding, we're not using anything that's going to draw a lot of electricity when we're on the 65. In all reality, we probably should have, like I bought for up to the house, that's a 9,500. Now 9,500, most guys and gals would say that's kind of overkill, isn't it? No, I want to make sure I got enough generator to easily run anything I have in my house whenever I want. And if I brought that generator down here, we could weld and everything else with the shop running. So if you can afford to go bigger, and that's how you tell how big your generators are, is by how many watts it puts out under load. It'll give you a startup, and then it'll give you under load. Your startup is usually higher, under load is usually a little bit lower. But that's the number you're looking for, is how many watts. Now, if you're asking me, well, I just go camping and I just want a portable generator to maybe run some lights, nothing big, I would recommend what they call the pocket generator. It's just a little enclosed, it's quiet. Honda puts them out, a lot of companies put them out, but most of them are like 900 to 1200 watt, and that will run like a 60 watt light bulb is going to take 60 watts. This is how you figure this stuff out, folks. And I'm not expecting you to know how much a hot water heater uses in wattage, in an hour or when it's under load. That's why I say if you can go bigger, go bigger. If you can figure out what you're going to be running in your household when it comes to a bigger generator, and you do have the ability to break it down to how many watts are going to be being produced to how many is going to be used, take that number and add a couple thousand. That way you're overkill, right? And that's the way to be. You got to be overkill. Pocket generator, if you're going camping and you're going to have a couple lights in the camp, in the tent, this and that, that I'm not sure when it comes to a fifth wheel camper. I know they make some that are 35 and 4,000 in the pocket. Well, I call it pocket, but it's an enclosed and you could carry it. I know a lot of people that have fifth wheel campers and stuff like that. They have onboard generators already built right in. But what it all boils down to is it's just like whether it's a lawnmower, snowblower, it all depends on what you want to use it for. And once you can figure out what do you want to use it for, then we can make good suggestions on what to buy. Your basic generator, 3500 watt. If you're off grid and you're using that generator to charge your batteries when the solar's not working, there's the other thing, is that a lot of these generators that you're finding at Home Depot, Tractor Supply, Lowe's, they're what they call the homeowner series. And a homeowner series, they figure so many hours of runtime, right? And it's like 12 or 1400 runtime is what they figure the life of that machine is, all right? Now, if you're using it as something to charge your batteries, if you're getting a lot of overcast days, what you're going to find is you're going to run that generator ragged and it's not going to hold up. And what I would suggest to you guys is you need to invest into a commercial grade generator versus your typical homeowners that you find locally. Now, Campbell, Housefield, Porter Cable, Champion, just to name a few of them, Generac, they make the homeowner series, which is going to be used for people like me that when the power goes out, we only use it for, a couple days or what have you, a month at the most, versus you using it all the time, So I would suggest that you go to a authorized dealer. Like we're an authorized dealer for Generac, Champion, Campbell, Housefield, and let us know what you want to use the generator for. And that way, if you tell me you're doing off-grid, I'm going to automatically say you need the commercial. The heavy-duty commercial that is made to run for long periods of time. Going to cost you more in the upfront, but that generator isn't going to last a month to 2 months and then have no compression because you ran it ragged and you just wore it out. If you're a homeowner, we'll look at the homeowner series. If you're the type of people that you don't want to have anything to do with it, hands off, your standby generators, and again, we're a Generac, Champion, Campbell Housefield, they all make standby generators. And that simply is that it sits there on a pad, okay? And it's got a computer board on it, and it can sense when the power quits coming through your power lines, your big power lines. And it will switch over and start up and power up your house. And it also senses when the power comes back on and does a gradual switch back. A lot of times you won't even notice it. And it also will do its own once a month startup, run for 5 minutes, and shut itself back down. And it will tell you on the front, when you need maintenance, unless you get a contract with the installer to do maintenance on it as well. So if you don't want to monkey around with all that crap, go with a standby and have a qualified electrician come in and put that in for you and hook it up. If you're a homeowner and you're just looking for something to keep the power on when the power goes out, just understand that what are you going to be running in your house? In our house, again, we have hot water heater is propane. My wood or my stove that I have in the house, cook stove, that's propane. My furnace, propane. So I can eliminate a lot of those things where if you're running a electric hot water heater, an electric range with your oven and your things on top, if you're running a electric dryer, electric washer, all that stuff has to be taken into consideration. Now, can you go a little bit smaller and go to your fuse box and shut off the ones that would draw a lot for the time being? Yeah. But you're farther ahead to figure out what you need and then go a couple thousand watts bigger. So on that note, you guys have a great day, and like I say, it all based on what your needs are and what type of power you're using in your home or when you're camping. All right, guys.